Oh, hello everyone. This is our new office space, which is actually my art studio in our house. But we are right now doing something very exciting because since we've moved the office, we've had a pile of amazing unwrapped gifts for Christmas that we have not been able to look at yet. So today, together as a community, we're going to go through the amazing gifts.
Amazing gifts.
All right, so this way you start with this one. This is from the wizard.
The wizard.
Johnny
boy.
What did John send us for Christmas?
Lots of little magical gifts.
Tinctures.
Tinctures.
I'm going to bring it in.
Okay, I might.
Oh.
Up the other way, that way.
Oh, see, handmade, everyone.
What does this say? I haven't got my glasses on. What does it say?
What does it say? It says...
Look, little Christmas hat.
Mushroom
tincture.
Wizard. The wizard has brought in the tinctures.
And the Christmas hat for it. Oh,
they're a beautiful spoon.
Yeah.
That's a handmade porcelain,
pottery spoon.
Oh, thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
We love that.
Oh, and some salves.
Oh.
So I think this is...
Is that the black sap?
I don't know if it's black or...
Or is this a lip balm?
Yeah, it could be the lip balm.
I can't do it with what you'll have to undo it. Oh, that's for me.
Yeah, so...
Kelly
got a card.
Kelly got a card.
Bliss Pure... I really need to get my glasses, don't I?
Oh, look.
Well, actually, I did get a card like that.
Bloom when you
mine
were
separately.
planted.
They're like little doilies.
All right, I'll read the card in a minute, John. So thank you so much. All right, check out this pile. All right, John. All right, the next amazing gift came in from Patty Chapman.
Patty.
All right, hold that for me, Cam.
Oh, okay. What happened to my
Stand. I know you set it up and I destroyed
it.
All right, look, beautiful card.
Oh.
We love bookmarks.
Oh, I need one. Yes. Awesome.
Excellent. I'm almost finished my UFO book.
Yes. I'm doing a Joe Dispenza. So,
Yep.
Oh, which one? I like the tree. I hope you like the tulips.
All right. I'm gonna read everyone's cards after the filming. So thank you, Patty.
It's all a bit personal, that, isn't it? Thank you.
All right. This is a very special one. This is. You ready for this? Look, we have a look. Ooh. Oh, it's packaged well.
Oh. Who's this from? Melissa and Bisto?
These are some amazing duo that you know what they make?
Oh.
The flat earth pendants.
Oh.
And
yes,
which I've been busting to
I
see
heard
everyone.
rumours of this, yes.
Okay. Well packaged for the
trip. Made it safely, just so you know.
Can I get it out without undoing all the things?
Oh, she's done it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
It's sort of wonderful box of collections. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Hey.
who's that? That's right. Miss Jones smoking a spliff.
All right, I will read that afterwards.
I'm going to change this view because I can't film me. There we go. That's
Look at
better.
that. Handmade.
Oh, well, royal. Nice.
Royal. Amazing. Oh, is it to be worn like this?
Is that how it's to be worn? It's like a neckerchief.
Oh, amazing. Look at that tie-dyeing, Cam.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at that tie-dyeing.
Nice.
That is so cool.
Royal. So
How
I'm guessing
cool
that's
is-
their brand.
Oh, are you ready? Are you ready?
What's in there?
How cool is our community? Honestly, like, far out, man. This is all handmade.
What? How?
How
do they
cool.
hand make such things? Oh my God.
How cool is that?
That is amazing.
It's a flat earth pendant. You got this, I put this in the magazine, every edition. Every edition. So you guys should go ahead and order one of these. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I think that's your big chunky gold one. And that's my sleek, slim silver one.
Wow.
Very masculine. Oh my gosh.
A handmade diary. Oh my god. Oh, music. Yes, of course, because they're a friggin' awesome band.
Oh my God.
Ah, damn right. All right, we've got CDs. Oh, how are we going to fly them in for the Blue Mountains gig, Cam?
Wow, I don't know. We'll have to work it out.
Wasabi Collective.
Something a bit spicy.
Wasabi Collective, everyone.
All right.
That
wow.
is so cool.
Okay.
We'll put a big link to this in the next edition. And of course, the pendants.
I mean,
finally, someone made them, right? You've all been thinking, why haven't I been able to buy a flat earth pendant?
I know,
You've all been
right?
thinking it.
There they
Look,
are,
it matches
right?
my whole vibe.
It's
See?
the new bling, man. It's the new thing to wear in the ghetto, right? Flat earth bling.
Fucking excellent. I
Yeah,
love that.
that's cool.
Awesome, guys. Look at us being absolutely spoiled. Handmade
Yes.
goods in all directions.
Thanks, everyone.
We're so lucky. But wait, there's so much more. Come over here.
So much more.
All right, so this box came from...
Oh my God.
No name. There'll be a card.
Oh.
But look,
Oh
there
my
looks like
gosh.
some excellent research there to go through. All right, we'll have to...
Nice, okay.
That's a dictionary.
Ah, interesting. Wonder if it's got the word firmament in it.
And some poetry and some place. All right, fantastic. Some creative writing there. Oh my God, Campbell.
Oh, what?
It's a
mermaid.
Get fucked. How cool's that to go with the mermaid?
All right.
Wow. Oh.
And that's cool. That can adorn our new office space.
It
This is
can.
our
We'll
office
have to put it
space.
up. Absolutely. So how amazing that feels like to me a sign from the universe.
Yeah.
That I mean, and maybe also a sign that, like the mermaids, there's so many different cultures and civilizations of them. Then there's the demonic, weird, jinny ones, which are like the sirens,
yeah,
and the vampires,
the vampire,
and the invaders,
and the invaders,
and then you've got
elites.
like basically aquatic humans.
Yeah.
That live in the Palladians underwater, and the Orions underwater, and the
And
Galactic Federation, which is underwater, and the Adlatians.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously
Galaxies
all of you feel
downwards.
like there's a connection to the lineage of all of those groups, but not to mermaids. But what if all those groups were the mermaids?
Oh, controversial. That's awesome. Okay, we definitely need to put some holes in the wall to hang that one up.
All right, there's little things everywhere. Oh yes, there is.
Did we get a name yet?
I've got a name yet.
Oh,
A little
more.
beautiful heart.
More cool stuff for the new
Wow.
office.
Oh,
Jeez, man.
lovely.
We're going to have the most decked out office soon.
And this is all going to move to the campground that we're going to build, and it's all going to be adorned. All these gifts forevermore will end up in our permanent, amazing
Oh, my God.
campground. Oh, is that a
Oh,
whistle?
that's an instrument.
Oh my God, I'm not good at this. But
It's an ocarina. There you go.
hot cross buns.
Don't breathe in. Don't do a Bill Clinton.
Oh, how beautiful is this work?
That's
Here, I'll swap it to you
awesome.
so you can unwrap some.
So I'm guessing that's all handmade, is it? That's
It's all handmade. Look at this amazing world
amazing.
of handmadeness.
Have a-
Everyone has given us the most beautiful things. Oh, yes,
Patty, is that it? Oh no, that was the last
Patty
one.
was the other one. There must. This. I haven't.
Is this from
But
the
wait,
same
there's
box?
more here, Cam.
But wait.
I think.
There's
Oh no,
more.
I don't know. They may be the air pockets.
Probably just packing.
Wow, we have been bloody spoiled. That is so beautiful.
So we have this, which that's for Kelly. That's for.
Oh, beautiful letter. Oh my
one.
God, I love reading all these things.
There's another one.
That would be for you.
Probably. And then we have. Oh, this way.
A
A
selection of poems
by Robin.
Ah,
Robin Hanlon. Thank you very
beautiful.
much. There's her hand. She's doing
Yep.
the hand. If you bought our newspaper, you would have Kelly's hand on it. Nice.
Oh gosh, we're spoiled. This is
All
just
right.
beautiful,
We might have to
everyone.
start reading some of these poems.
Oh my
out on
God,
our
I think we
podcast,
will.
right?
We're going to be turning us all into poets.
Poets. Oh, and a hair clip.
Oh yes, very nice.
That must be for
Sparkly. For Charlie, yes.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, thank you, everyone. We love
This still
handmade and
typing.
homemade. No, that's just normal, boring mail.
Normal boring mail.
Not even attached to it.
Well, how could we ask for more? Really, I was just being selfish, wasn't I? Jeez, look at all this stuff, man. How cool.
I know. What a blessing. What a blessing. So all of these, everything that we get sent is not just discarded in any concept. What's going to happen? Oh, am I upside down?
This is cool. Who gets this? Do we have to fight over these?
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
That is cool.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Do we have to fight over it, Camel?
We are
Isn't it cool?
love.
Love that. And open this to see. Is it a lip balm? Yes, all these gifts that we get in a cure are going to go to the beautiful new buildings that we create on the campground. They're all going to adorn the campground. They're going to be kept and treasured for all time.
What is the campground?
As part of the ancestral elder tribute.
It is, but nobody knows what the campground is yet. But everyone who's buying our newspaper and who's subscribed, you shall know within a week or two what we are talking about. And I can't get the vids off this.
I love that. All right, everyone. I don't know if you've watched the podcast already or if this is the middle, the end, or the beginning. But we love you and thank you so much.
Yes. Yep, recording.
All right. Good morning, Tartaria, Australia. We're back. We missed last week, Cam. Did you miss
did.
us?
We did. Busy week. We've been busy with our Rockhampton live gig. Link below,
It's
guys.
shaping up to be fun. It's shaping up.
Yeah. We've got a cool hall. We've got the show all, well, half done. That's going to be done soon. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So if you're in Queensland or, especially the middle part, I guess, come and join us. Come and say
Okay,
hello.
nice.
Meet your crew. Say hello to us and have an awesome day.
I mean, it's cool because, like, the whole purpose, obviously, as we go on and on and about, is actually just spending some time with each other. That's like the whole key to all of this. And I think for anyone who's in northern Queensland, even the Northern Territory, or even down to Brisbane, it's, if you've ever thought of checking out Rockhampton, which, Cam, it's a pretty fascinating place. Like, we were shocked when we first went there as far as Tartaria goes. Like
Yeah.
the whole Esplanade, the harbour area is just full on Tartarian buildings. We were really shocked. And then we, did some research on the gold history of Rockhampton and how this township even popped up in the middle of nowhere and why it's so built out. And of course, the gold story is just as infuriating as all the other gold stories.
Yeah.
Like, essentially, they just like, walked off into the bush and uncovered gold. Like,
Yeah. And then just traded them for old world buildings that just happen to pop up.
yeah,
But yeah, it's full of Tartaria. Like I said, it's pretty remote, so there's not,
yeah,
much of a story of why, at least in the mainstream, right? I think we all know why. But yeah, come and join us. We were there 2022, I think. Had a really good
yeah,
time. So, it's on a Saturday, so if you want to have a long weekend, if you want to drive in, yeah, it's a really cool little town.
And there's fucking shitloads of accommodation in Rockhampton. I had no idea. Again, there's like heaps and heaps and not expensive at all. So if you are feeling like coming down, we'll be there from Friday till Monday, really. And on the Saturday, we'll do the show as per land. And actually, it's the beginning of this show is starting in Rockhampton. And this is a big show, Cam. This is our invasion topic that we did last year, coupled with the water topic, coupled with it's a big show, and you guys will thoroughly enjoy it. The wrap up, and we're going to talk about things we haven't talked about on the podcast. Keep a little bit of exclusivity to the live event, and you'll really enjoy it. But on the Saturday night, we'll all meet up at a pub or somewhere we can have a few drinks and some food. And then on Sunday, we'll just do a nice, big, long, leisurely walk around Rockhampton and check out some of these buildings, see if we can go and have a look in the inside. We did go into a few when we were there last time, and they're pretty good. They're
Mm.
pretty, yeah, some of them have stayed pretty close to their original I guess, interior design. So it was really fun. So yeah, and you can camp and there's like lots of place. And the hall, we've specifically hired a hall that's going to be it's 25 k's out of Rockhampton. So it's like we've
Yeah.
got privacy. We can smoke outside, it's all chilled and it'll be really nice sort of private space for us. So if you are thinking about if you've ever wanted to see Rockhampton, and here is an excuse to see it, to come and join us. So tickets are on sale on the website. We're super pumped by it. It's our first show, so we're excited. So all
Yes.
the mistakes that we're going to make on this live show are going to happen live in Rockhampton. So you can come and witness our humbleness as we get a work out the show. So I'm excited. So yeah, big invitation to anyone in Queensland, Northern Territory to come and join us for the weekend.
Yes.
Why the fuck not? What else are you going to do? What else is
Exactly.
happening?
Exactly. Yes. Come and meet your people. Come and have a good time. And we're also sending out, well, we're working on the fourth edition of the newspaper. So again, link below, guys, tartariaaustralia.com. If you haven't signed up already, what are you doing? It's the best newspaper in the realm.
Oh, it
Get
is.
involved.
It is. But let's just clarify that we are currently working on the fourth edition, but the third edition is still at the printers. It's been delayed. We don't
Was it
know
the third,
why.
is it? Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
The third edition is it's been at the printers for like 15 days now. So I'm not sure. I've contacted them this morning. I'm not sure what the delay is, but that's what's happening. It's been there for a while. So it's the third edition's done and dusted and will be sent out as soon as we receive it. But Campbell and I are already working on the fourth edition. And so, yeah, bring in your submissions, people. As you submit it, I lay it out and, bang, we have a cool newspaper unfolding once again. This one's a good edition. I've already got articles in there that I fucking think are excellent. It's
Mm.
excellent watching people submit. So, yeah, get into it, guys. We would like a nice, juicy article. I think you're going to do one on Rockhampton specifically, Cam. And we'll
Yep.
do them on the towns as we go through. So,
Yep.
yep, newspaper will be sent out as soon as we receive it, which puts us 2 weeks behind the deadline again, but this time not our fault.
Yes, yes, yes. We're trying, we're trying. And your submission doesn't have to be a big article. It can be a poem, it can be a picture, it can be a random thought, it can be a cartoon, it could be a crossword, could be a looking for love ad, whatever you want. Or, of course, advertisement for your own business, or what you're up to. Let everyone in the community know. So, whatever it may be, submit it.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. So that's the newspaper update. Rockhampton, also, we've got our live events going. They're all on the website for all of the year, minus New Zealand, which still has to be worked out, but it's there and done. So if you go and check out the website, you'll see what's closest to you. Book it in. We're going to have a blast at every single point. Call out specifically
Yes, to
to the
musicians.
the Blue Mountain gig. So a while ago, or during the Jolly Swag tour, we decided to do a wild and crazy thing, which was to organize a recording studio at one of our gigs. And we specifically decided on the Blue Mountains because Felice, who wrote the first theme song for Tartaria Australia, which we love, is in the Blue Mountains. So we thought, fuck, the Blue Mountains is where it is. So we have since hired a recording studio for 2 days in Katoomba. The first day, Cam, is for the musicians to jam, just to get
Yep.
to know each other and vibe out and see what they do. And the second day, we've got a sound engineer and mix master there who's going to record whatever whatever you guys come up with. And oh, of course, I want to turn it into a vinyl, Campbell. But you don't
Yes.
think that's a logical step, do
Well,
you?
we'll see. We'll see. You know, not many people have record players left. So maybe a cassette, right? A cassette tape, like the old
Mixtape.
TDKs, a mixtape. But yeah, if you're a musician, you know, we'd love you to start working on some original Tartaria themed songs, right? Get it sort of down so you've got something to practice. And you know, definitely a big call out to all musicians to come. Like we said, we've got two days at the
Yeah,
recording studio. It's going to be awesome. Of course, Kelly and I will just be sitting there, you know, contemplating how we're
getting
so
stoned.
unskilled at music, but we'll be enjoying it.
Yes, Campbell and I are not musical. Unfortunately, it's not our role, but we are massive supporters of the arts. And
Yes.
yeah, Tartaria Australia, I don't know if you guys know this, but one of the things we've been doing for a while now is when we go into a community to do a live event, we gift to that community $1,000 from the ticket sales, and that money goes to the arts. So whatever is happening in that region, and we just like the idea that wherever we go, the arts are being supported and funded. We just think that's the coolest thing. And so the idea for the recording studio is fucking wild, Cam. What an experiment. Who does this? Who fucking does this? I don't
I know,
even,
right? So if
we've
you
got
want
no
to,
guarantees
yeah,
that
if you've
anyone's
never been,
coming.
you've never been on a record or a cassette tape and you want to be, then get involved. And of course, call out to everyone who was at the Jolly Swag. We had some great bands turn up, heaps of musicians. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed it. So everyone who was there, we
Yeah.
expect you to come to the Blue Mountains. And the Blue
Yeah.
Mountains is cool too, right? They've got like old aqueducts and stuff that
Yeah.
the convicts built, you know, wink, wink. And lots of cool stuff that we'll be able to check out there as well. And an amazing gig, of course.
Yeah. Well, the Blue Mountain gig we're kind of pitching as our big gig for the year because I haven't really explored the Blue Mountains. It's going to be snowing, hopefully, so it's going to be quite Narnia-like, which we love. I don't know why, but that
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Bring your
And
Turkish delight.
yep, we're going to hire a venue to do the Saturday gig as usual, but it'll be a big venue. So we're anticipating a really good turnout for the Blue Mountains. We've never ever done Sydney. I don't know why we've never done Sydney. We've never done
We
Sydney.
we haven't. No, we've never got there.
Yeah, so this will be the show for the Sydneyites, but also for the whole community. If ever you've wanted to explore the Blue Mountains, and I guess our live events are kind of like moving towards this. Like it's, hey community, have you ever thought of exploring Adelaide? Do you want to go to Tassie? Ever been to the Blue Mountains, Rockhampton? Like these are opportunities to kind of plan to spend a week or a weekend with, the coolest people ever in the whole community coming, all the community coming together and actually seeing these aspects of Australia that so many of us haven't seen before. And I know people who've never seen snow, Campbell. I cannot believe it, but that's a fact. So if you have never seen snow, this could be a really super good gig. Of
Mm.
course, of course, it means that you've got 6 months to get your shit together. Obviously, accommodation, it will be cold. So cool if you're in a camper or a van, no problems. Maybe a little bit more tricky in a tent, but it's not out of the picture. And obviously there's a million points of accommodation up there as well. So get your shit together, book yourself some accommodation and work it out. And let's all convene on the Blue Mountains in June, the end of June. Very excited. And maybe Campbell, we might be able to go and give JC a big fat hug. And maybe she might like have something to say. I don't know. We'll just go. It's her hometown. So
It
I'd
is
love to
her.
see her. Yep. And of course we'll drag Dale along. Make his balls freeze
Dale,
in the summer, in the
yeah.
winter snow.
Dale, if you're out there, yes, you've been put in this show, so
And
yeah,
maybe
be in your
Maybe
calendar.
Rachel Morgan will join us. Like, I think there's a few cool. So the show might extend till Sunday, is what I'm saying, because this actual show that we're presenting is going to take all day. But we might extend to a special session on the Sunday.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Q&As or something. Yeah, have a chat. Yep.
and if we're super lucky, all our bad ass groovy fucking musicians are going to perform for us on stage live, whatever they come up with. At least they can do a jam for us.
I know,
to end the
right?
show.
I
If
know. I'm thinking of like, what was it? Do they know it's Christmas and we are the world? Remember those? Get
oh
all the musicians
yeah,
in a big room,
that's right.
do a big, collaborative song. That would be awesome. But of course, write your own songs too, right? Because we need more than one song for our album.
Yep. So it's going to be turned into an album or a mixtape or a CD and not digital. We're not going to do it digital. We're just going to make it a physical product that you guys can buy.
Yeah, man,
Um,
analog.
and and I don't know, maybe we'll work it out so that the money we choose a way of making the money serve some bigger cause, which of course we're big fans of. On the website, you'll see that there's 3 animal charities now because, we've got to like sort this shit out around the world and we do love
Yeah,
our
we all love
furry friends.
animals. Yeah, got to help the furry friends for sure. And everything is on tartariaaustralia.com. Like we said, all the dates. Get your shit together hour if you need to get your shit together. Lots and lots of cool stuff. So go and check it out. Have a peruse.
All right. So that's it. Blue Mountains, call out to the musicians. It's happening the 25th to the 26th of June, 2 days in the recording studio. I hope you guys hear the call. Otherwise, it's going to be Campbell and I sitting there in an empty studio. And if that's the case, we might do some spoken word.
Oh, we're gonna have to do some rapping or something because
Yeah.
we can't play instruments.
Yep. All right, guys. So that's the update on the Blue Mountains gig. All the other gigs are getting organized. Call out and big thank you to Edwina, who's been stepped up to
Eddie,
help us with the tour management. And we really fucking appreciate and love you
yes,
heaps, mate.
doing an
Yep.
amazing job, Eddie. Much better than me. I had the job for 3 days and completely failed. So
Well, we fired him actually. Campbell got fired.
I know.
All right, Cam. So is there any other updates we haven't covered?
Oh, I don't think
No, I think
so.
that's good. I
I think
think.
that's it.
Yep. All right. Good. New space submissions. Get them in now. Get them in. Third editions at the printers. Not our fault. Will be posted next week. Canada. Canadian people, you have not received your second edition yet, and I'm about to march down to the post office and find out why. They were sent on the 12th of December, and you still haven't received it, and it's 8th of
Really?
February. So I've got to go and sort out that shit. It might be with the Canadian audience. I have to express post. I don't know. Either way, today I'm going to go and sort that out. So stand by, Canadians. We're going to get to you.
Yes. Yes. We're getting through working with the system. But
Mm.
yes, yes. And hello to everyone in Canada. Like we get all these stories that it's quickly turning into a dystopian state. So we hope you're all good and yes, just push back. At least Justin Trudeau's gone, but he's dating Katy Perry. Did you hear that? And
Oh,
apparently she's
yes.
pregnant. Like what?
Oh, whatever.
And he's a girl. Like what's going on here?
And he's a cow. So, like, I mean, I'm going to launch into a big topic in a minute, buddy, but is there anything you'd like to say about anything at all? Anything that's happened this week you'd like to make commentary on?
No, no. Well, we've just been obviously looking into the water more, the UAPs. I did have a random thought that the Vatican, there's a thing called the Holy See.
Oh,
Of course,
yeah.
they spell it SEE, but we know what they do with their word magic here. And I've got it here. The Holy See, also called the See of Rome, the Petrine See, or the Apostolic See, is
Hmm.
the central governing body of the Catholic Church and Vatican.
Oh,
It
get fucked.
encompasses the office of the Pope as the Bishop of Apostolic Episcopal See, um,
Wow.
and serves as the spiritual and administrative authority of the worldwide Catholic Church and Vatican City. So it's basically the overriding law, I guess you would call it, that they're overriding kind of ruling rules. And it's very interesting. It's called the Holy See, and all the different names,
The
they leave the
Holy
C in there,
See.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting
It's
link, the Pope with his fish hat on his head. Yeah, pretty bit of an interesting little connection there.
Man, just when you think we've done with the ocean topic, just when you think we can't possibly imagine it any other, we can't bring any more aspects into it. We've covered what was, and reminding people that this whole conversation just started with one simple question of where did the internet come from? How did we build the internet? That's how this whole topic uncovered itself.
Mm.
And it just never fucking ends, Campbell, because
Just keeps getting deeper.
it does keep getting deeper. And, particularly this week, because what I did last week was basically reimagine the Bible as an aquatic book. And I'm
Ooh.
like, okay, what would happen to the Bible if we took it as an aquatic book and it actually was the story of the oceans and the separation? Like, how would that transfer the meaning of the Bible? And fuck me, Cam, like I tell you, when you overlay it as an aquatic publication, it makes so much more sense. I
Yeah.
can't even tell you how much more sense it makes.
I mean, there's a few like, blatant things, right? Like the symbol for Jesus is a fish, right? That's an obvious one. And what's it called? Baptism, right? You got to go in the water. Every time you walk into a church, you got to get the holy water, right?
Yep.
The holy sea and rub it on
Yep.
your head.
Hmm.
There's lots and lots of aquatic
And
ties
baptism,
there.
baptism isn't just a Christian thing. Like, seriously, we were in Mornington the other day. I was telling you the story,
Yeah,
and a
yes,
whole
yes.
busload of Muslims turned up to like these tiny little cove beaches, not even the main ones. They all marched into the water and started doing their Muslim-like baptism. Like it was definitely happening, and there was like 50 of them. So it's not just a
Mm,
Christian
no,
phenomenon.
it's an Abrahamic
It's an
phenomenon.
Abrahamic phenomenon. Yes,
Yeah, and I think
indeed.
all those, all those three religions, right? Judaism, Christianity, Islam, all come from the same starting point.
Yep.
Abraham, right? The guy who almost sacrificed his son because the Lord told him to, right? That Lord
Mm,
who loves you. But they've just split it up, right? Just, same meaning, same program, but they just split
yep.
it up to cause a bit of division, right? I'm
Yep.
right, you're wrong. My God's better than your God kind of
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Mm.
And like side note, and we'll go into this deeper in the live show, but not to ruin it, but we're going to ruin it just now. But side note, like once you actually look at the Bible as an aquatic publication, or at least the story of the aquatic split, yeah, once you start looking at it from those lens, you can actually take all the sacred relics, Campbell, all of the relics, which we go into extensively in the show, the Ark of the Covenant, Moses' staff, the Spear of Destiny, and guess what? They all do things around water. They literally split the sea. The staff actually comes down, the sea splits, and the waves split, and they can march through. The Ark of the Covenant gets marched down to the water's edge, and the sea it parts, and the Spear of Destiny, Cam. Do you remember that
Yes,
story? Tell
yes, that
them.
was the one that when Jesus was on the cross, one of the Roman soldiers walked up and shoved a spear in the side of his, under his ribs, and water came
Get
out.
fucked. Water came out of Jesus' side. I'm sorry, guys, but this is like what? So, I mean, one has to like then theorize that all of these sacred relics or advanced sacred technology was aquatic in nature. It
Mm,
seems to respond to the oceans or at least to water.
mm.
So, that's an interesting link that no one's made before.
It is, and of course Jesus walked on water, right?
Walked, it turned water into
Turned
wine.
water into wine, fed the masses with fish. They're all a lot of the disciples are fishermen,
Yep.
or is that just fishmen? Oh, who knows?
Fishmen. Yep, because another one of the disciples walked on water as well. I think it was Paul.
Well, yeah, yeah, I hadn't heard that one
Hmm.
before, but yeah, yeah, apparently, and I guess walking on water sort of is the concept of they have dominion over the water, right, or control over the water,
Yep. Yep.
which, you know.
And like, how's when we actually probably we didn't talk about this on the podcast, but during the last live show when we were going through the invasion, we talked a lot about, what happened in those 40 years in the desert, apparently. And one of the things that happened to sustain the people, the Israelites, the Jewish Israelites, was that manna, this substance called manna, would fall from the sky. And it was like little wafer flakes, little white wafer flakes. And what the fuck do they look like today, Campbell? What would you associate with them?
Wow, wow. Has anyone ever had a fish
Mm-hmm.
and sprinkled the fish food. Whee!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
all right. It's yeah. Is that some other subconscious kind of thing we've got? And of course, in church they still give the wafers. What's it called? The sacrament or something? The body of
Hey,
Christ,
it's manna. It's
and that's
manna.
to represent the manna. Yeah, yeah. The fish food, the fish
So
food given to you by the
essentially, it's
bishop with
fish
the
food.
fish hat on, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that is so weird, guy. Honestly, manna is the same description as current day fish food. Those little wafery flakes that you put in a fish tank. So, just side note, yeah, just a
It's
side
crazy,
note.
right? And I think even it was Moses, wasn't it? Who split the rock
Hmm.
and water came out. Right? There's so many water
With the
references
staff,
with
with his
his
aquatic
star.
staff. Yep.
Yes. And then the last one of the last signs in the Bible, what does that say, Kelly?
One of the last signs. Oh, one of the last statements in the whole Bible is that this. What is it exactly? The sea will be no longer, or
Yeah.
something like this. What is the exact quote? I've got it here somewhere.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about the sea.
Yeah, so it's kind of giving the impression that, we have these cycles, right? And one is a land cycle and then the next is a sea cycle, right? And we
Aha.
look like we're in the sea cycle at the moment.
It's Revelations 21:1, and the sea was no more. At the end of the Bible, that's what it states. And the sea was no more. Like the Bible begins and ends on the fucking sea. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, yeah. The first line is, and God was over the waters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
So it's very interesting. Like, are they literally telling us of the sea cycle, right? When the
Yeah.
fish gods rule.
So Genesis 1, 2, and the Spirit of God moved upon the faces of the water. That is like right there in Genesis. And then we end on the sea will be no more. Genesis 1, 6, 7. Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters
From
from
the
the
waters.
waters.
Exactly. And that's such a, quoted quote, right? Waters above, waters below, as above, so below. It's all this watery talk, right? And then, of course, a couple of big movies coming out this year. There's actually one that is completely A-list Hollywood, right? It's got like
Yep.
Angelina Jolie
Yeah.
and all these other big names in it. And that's, I've forgotten what's that, The War Against the Sea or
Like
something, I think
land
it's
in the
called.
sea. Oh no,
No,
that's called the
the,
invasion of the
the
mermaids.
Invasion of the Mermaids, which is interesting. And then there's another one, yeah, the land between the war between the land and the sea, I think,
Yep.
which is coming out of BBC One. So this topic suddenly has popped up everywhere, right? Like we sort of got onto it. What I mean, it must be what 6 months, maybe
Yeah, I
not
think the
that.
series, yeah, I think this is like part 8 of the series or something. Yeah, we've been going a while. And not because we were looking at the waters or the mermaids, we were looking at the internet. So, this has been a long sojourn into understanding this, what seems to be, as we understand it, so fucking obvious.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no one is talking about it, Campbell. No one.
No, no. I mean, a lot of people now talking about USOs, right? Underwater. What does that stand for?
Submergible objects.
Submerged objects. That's right. Unidentified submerged objects. And, all this talk of UFOs going in and out of the water and being chased by submarines and that. So the narrative is coming out. But as far as the fish gods, doesn't seem to be a lot on there, and it doesn't take a lot of looking to find people like Oannes, right? The fish gods, and that links straight to the Pope. But then it's across all cultures. It's not just the Christian culture, like you find it in native cultures, like the Hawaiians talk about it. It's in the Vedas. Islam have got stuff on it. It's
Hmm.
it's actually everywhere.
It's
It's
everywhere.
crazy.
It's everywhere. And get this is another cool biblical reference here. Do you know that the prophets in the Bibles,
Yeah,
they all meet, get this is so fun. They all meet their wives at wells.
at Wales.
What? They all
Wow,
meet their
wow,
wives at
wow.
wells. I mean, what is that saying?
What is that saying? And what were the wells they
What
were
type of
talking about? Because,
exactly.
across the realm, especially most of them are in India, you've been to see a few, are these stepwells,
Yep.
right? Where you go down and well, who knows what's at the bottom of them because they've all got water at the bottom of them,
Hmm.
right? Is that some link that goes down to
When do we
oceans
get?
and
Let's bring up
waters
a picture
below,
of
right?
The
Like,
stepwells. I'll bring one up.
yeah, yeah. So is this what was happening? They were going down and their little mermaid wives were popping out of the waters below. Who knows? It's just a
I
very
know. I mean,
interesting
come on.
tie.
From this perspective, it's a whole other story. So this is the stepwells, and they are eccentric and elaborate. Hey, like they are just stepping
This,
right down into the depths,
yeah,
and they're
they're
all over
so
India.
elaborate. Yep. I mean, and then we have the baths, right, of the UK and Europe, which are similar, not as elaborate, but I think that's one there, World Heritage Day. That looks like a Roman bath, right? They've still
Yep.
got all the water in them, right? So what's below that, I wonder, right?
Yep.
There's some kind of passage to waters below. And science has come out and recently and said that below the ocean is another ocean, which is, what do they say, 5 or 7 times bigger than the oceans above, which is interesting. How that
Yeah.
works on a globe, I don't know, with its iron molten core and all this kind of stuff.
I mean, it's super fascinating. And when you look at the Bible from this perspective, man, it reads differently. It reads differently. Now, I'm going to run us through like all my notes, Cam, but I'm going to be reading as we're going because there's so much. There's so much. So just I'll just read and then we'll just pause and talk it
Pause for
through.
reflection. All right.
Okay, so the Bible does not, so as we know this, right? The Bible doesn't start with light, word, or man. It begins with water. So right up front, it begins with water. Darkness was upon the face of the deep, not space,
Not
not the
the
void,
earth,
but the deep.
the
And it
deep.
has a name, Teom. Is that how you pronounce it? Tehom.
T-E-H, I guess so, yeah. Teom, Teom.
So that doesn't mean emptiness. That word doesn't mean emptiness. It means depth. Depth. Why does it mean depth? What is it about the deep? You know, like the Bible starts, it sets up its whole parameter, its whole container on the depths, not on the void, not on land, not on light, but the depths. This is the beginning of the Bible.
I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, and then it sort of goes into, God created everything on the land, right? And that's sort of how what we're told it's all about, but it starts from the deep. Like it's right in there.
Yep,
Very
straight up, man.
watery, man.
Yeah, yeah. So the first act of God, according to the Bible, is not making land. It's separating waters. That's the very first act. So let me set it up from there. It's about separating the waters. And whatever leads after that, Campbell, what happens after they separate through it? So we introduce the surface beings. We're formed from dust, animated by breath, you know. But we sort of like, but we our blood salinity mirrors the sea. So it's and our nervous system's electrical and conductive. So we like are sort of like it looks like we're not fully terrestrial, and we're not fully aquatic. The human being that comes out of the Bible, we're not either. We're somewhere in the middle, right? We're somewhere between the aquatic world and the land world, the terrestrial
Mm.
world. It's interesting. And, you know, of course, bring up baptism again. Like that's an emergence in water, right? That's a water ritual. And
Yeah,
that's through so many of the Abrahamic religions.
yeah,
Because the
yeah.
idea is that we're born of water and spirit.
Yes, yes. You have to revisit the waters to be, reborn, right, on the land, which is interesting little concept, right? Is that literally telling us what's going on? We started in the deep, and then we have to be come from the waters to be reborn on the land, right? To live on the land.
And so, like, we've got one connection that bonds the whole world, which was there was a flood event.
Yes.
So again, water. Again, water, the thing that reset the realm, the thing that caused the mud flood, the thing that, you know, corrupted the last civilization, it all seems to come. And this is a consistent through all historical cultures, I guess. This idea of the water, the submergence of the land in water. And the water was ocean water, it was salt water.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And what went across the water? The ark, right? Like an electric arc, right? It's
Yep.
very, very interesting,
Yep. It's
right?
interesting that word arc. It
It
comes up a
is.
lot. It comes
Comes
up a
up a
lot.
lot. Yeah. The
All right, so
archons.
one of the things that I wanted to focus in when I was looking at this was the concept of the rapture. Now, classically, Campbell, how would you describe the rapture? What's the standard explanation of the rapture? Which, by the way, everyone's gearing up for again.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Engineered prophecies. The
Mhm.
rapture is basically when God's people, the worshippers of the Lord ascend into heaven, right? They do a Jesus. They all float up into the sky, and all us heathens are left behind on the land.
Yeah. It
Mm.
basically denotes the idea of morality, of how good you are. If you're a good, moral Christian, you're going to rise. So if you live your life well, you're going to be taken up to the heavens to join God and Jesus in the heavens, and from there you'll watch the destruction and the judgment rain down on the earth.
I know what
That's
a present, right? You get to like watch all your friends and family burn and die below you while you sit up there on your cloud throne, looking down down your nose at them for not worshipping. But I
yeah,
mean, it's crazy, right? Because the Christian, narrative, there's only one life, there is no reincarnation. This is it, right?
yep,
But then they tell you you've got to spend that life that was given to you by the loving God, but you've got to spend it all not doing what you want, but just worshiping Him
yep,
and doing all this stuff. So why would a being create or a God create life and give us this when we're not allowed to experience it?
yep,
Makes
yep.
sense.
Or use our own faculties of making known the unknown
Mm,
as creator gods,
that's
as
created
creator beings.
gods.
Now,
I
the
know.
rapture must set up quite a moral dilemma for those who are Christians or any Abrahamic religion, because the rapture sets up this idea that if your loved ones haven't found Jesus or haven't found God or Allah or whoever, like if they haven't found that and acknowledged it and given their lives in service to it, then, families must be quite split. This would be the insistence that the Abrahamic religions have on converting people. Is this like underlying tension of the rapture coming? And if you're not there, then you're not going to be taken, and then your loved one's going to be separated from you. Like that must create a big moral tension
I
in
know.
families.
I know, right? I'm a loving God, but if you don't do exactly what I say, then you're going to burn in hell. And that's not even to mention the people, the millions, hundreds of millions who never even come in contact with an Abrahamic religion.
Hmm.
Sorry, guys, you just, you were born
You
in the
missed
wrong
that
area,
one.
so you
Yeah.
get to burn in hell. I mean.
Sorry. There's a lot of issues like that throughout the Abrahamic religions, where there's such judgment involved that it really does separate and split up whole cultures and families and friends and husbands and wives, and it really is a moral dilemma they present. And this is sort of all the way through, it's not just on the rapture, but the rapture's the most fascinating one because that's what everyone's gearing up to happen again. Right. So let's have a look at the rapture. So when you read the word rapture, when you actually look at its meaning, it doesn't describe ascent. It doesn't describe ascent up into the heavens. It actually describes severance.
Really?
So yeah, so Revelations describe what it describes as separation camp. It's that's what it describes, separation. So if read aquatically, the rapture marks the final hardening of the boundary between the depth and the surface. That's actually more its true meaning. The hardening
Interesting.
of the boundary between the depth and the surface.
Yes, yes, and we did sort of have a bit of a chat about all these, entities, the Palladians and the Starship Enterprise. That's not what they call. What are they called? The Galactic Federation of Light, and all this. And we sort of asked the question, well, why are they always here to help, but they never can,
Yeah,
right?
what's the exact thing? It's like we can't interfere with your evolution.
Can't interfere with the evolution. And we're like,
What?
well, we've been invaded. Why, what? Could you,
Yeah,
could you not interfere there? Like, why did you let that, it's weird. But then, yeah, it was you, Kelly, who sort of came up with the thought that maybe there is some kind of barrier there and it's a literal physical, we can't get into your world type thing.
yes. So, yes. So if we take that concept, let's think about it, because it's an irritating one to my head. I've like always been, I think all of us have always been irritated by it, no matter who you're listening to, whether it's a channel being from the Palladians, the Orions, the Arcturians, or the Galactic Federation, or a 5D entity, or angels, or whatever it is, wherever that concept's coming in, they appear to be able to communicate telepathically through noise, through sound. They can communicate
Sonar.
through voices, but they can't interfere with our evolution. So that sets up the premise of like, okay, well, can we quite imagine that because the human, like in our elk, like in our communities in elk, this sort of 5Ds and the healers and the, the like the truthers, whatever subtext you want to add. From that elk, we've literally got these ideas of all of these beings, these higher consciousness beings that are in contact with us and confess to love us so deeply, Campbell, so deeply that they just love us so much and they're there for us, like holding the space while we get through this fuckery on Earth, but they can't interfere. Now, would that set up the
Mm,
premise that these beings who we're all taught, and to be fair, they teach us this as well, they say this as well, that they're out there in space? They're
space.
out there in space or multidimensional space, but they're certainly not here. They're out there. But what if they literally are civilizations that are submerged in water behind a density barrier that they cannot breach? So
Yeah.
that when potentially before all of this occurred, the invasion occurred, it is quite evidenceable. Evidenceable, is that a word?
Well, it
Evidenced.
is now.
They're quite evidenced through the old maps that there was a relationship, a relating between those of the sea and those of the land. That we have evidence through those old maps and through mythological stories that there was communication, connection, and interrelational, commune between those that were from the sea and those that were from the land. So, what if all of those extraterrestrial beings from these sorts of places, which a lot of us confess to have a lineage towards, how many times have you heard? I'm
Oh,
from the Palladians.
yeah.
I'm Orion. I'm from
I'm
the
an
Arcturians.
Arcturian. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got this strong connection in the sort of, truth space or the healing space or the 5D space to these cultures and races. Now, what if these cultures and races were actually still in total existence because they're communicating with us, but they're in the oceans?
They're blocked. Yeah, yeah. We've most people have probably seen that video of the dude going down in the submarine and finding a lake under the ocean, right? And trying to go through it, and he couldn't. He was bouncing off it, he says, because it was a different density, right? A different salinity. So is that literally the barrier that we can't go through it down, and they can't go through it coming up?
So they're not lying to us. What's happened is they should say, we can't interfere with you. If they add our evolution, that changes the game. But if they just said, we can't interfere with you, then we could start asking questions like, why? The term with your evolution suddenly like addresses that by saying, we can't change your natural trajectory. You have to work this out by yourselves. But we
Yeah.
love you so much. And we know you've been invaded. And we know you're being raped and murdered and destroyed. And we know it's horrible. But we can't interfere. I'm
But we're
sorry.
up here
But just
rooting
know that
for
we
you.
love you.
We're your cheer squad.
It's all right. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for you. Not kidding. But all right. So let's just linger on this concept for a minute. So imagine, because what we've actually like sort of talked about in the last 8 episodes is that the internet was a very bizarre decision, that they laid cables across the ocean in a time period where we had no technology to support that. We had no divers, no submarines, nothing, no ships, nothing that would support us actually traversing the ocean and laying down cables, and we had no maps and no way to like comprehend how deep those ocean points were, if they were just going 2 meters down or fucking 11 k's down. There's no technology. That the whole story of the internet is bizarre. And then we've got to also note what's obvious is that the deeper you get into those depths, the more electrical it gets. And so this is interesting, right? Because the electricity is an absence of light. So the deeper you get, the darker you get, light becomes less and less. And that happens quite quickly. And then we see that being replaced by electricity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one can actually denote the concept, the theory that electricity is the false light bought from the depths.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Like the jinn, The jinn are
Same with the
described
jinn.
as coming from smokeless fire, right? Which a lot of
That's
people
right.
think is electricity. And there are no electric animals on the land, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So, like, if we take the last show we've done on this topic, we were talking about artificial intelligence and where that has come from, and squarely putting the invasion in their hands, which is we have been invaded by an artificial intelligence. So, another way of putting that is invaded by those who
Mm.
lack life, anti-life. It's anti-life and anti-light. And what would equal anti-life, non-life consciousness and non-light consciousness? It would be those that something that's come from the deep that is artificial in nature that operates out of false light, electricity.
Yeah, yeah. And you may have seen this. We showed this before. This is the levels of the internet. Surface, interesting word, right? Above the waters. Then we get the deep web, the dark web as light disappears. Then the Marianas, of course, Marianas Trench, they tell us is the deepest place in the ocean. Then the mediator. Who is the mediator? Ooh, the fog, right? The brain fog. And at the bottom, the prime arc. There's that word again, arc, right? Again, electric arc. The arc that, goes from one land to the new world. And Archon, right? The prime arc system.
Hmm?
So very interesting.
Very interesting. Now, can I just have to pause the show for a second because there's someone at the
Oh,
door.
oh,
One
the
second.
electrician. Oh
The
my
electrician and the
God.
irony. I know. Oh my God. 1 second. Hey, man. I'm just on a podcast, so just come in and do your thing. Cool. No worries.
All right. The electrician has entered. I mean, yeah, it's
The
very
irony.
interesting, right?
Woo. All right, so we've set up the premise that the invading force is a non-human, non-alive force. So artificial intelligence, matches that. It's the only thing that matches that. And that from the deeps, the depths, shoal, there was a breach. There was a breach of this artificial intelligence that operates using electricity. And interestingly, that breach also links now to when did this all start to come out? It sort of to come out around the Phoenicians or the white, the white beings that came from the oceans. No one knows where they came from. No one can place the Phoenicians in a location. It's just like a
No.
vague, like they came from the Mediterranean. It's like they came out of the
These,
waters and
yeah, these
meta
called the sea people. And literally you
sea
look into
people.
it and like there's no explanation. They just kind of appeared from the sea.
And it's so interesting because, like, metaphorically, all terrestrial beings, as in the native land beings, all have the same story that the white people came from the seas and basically invaded, right? So, this is a metaphor that carries across the whole of our history, especially in the recent eras, the pre reset, post reset.
Post reset, yes, yes.
We
And,
get this
and
combination.
and all of this, like man-made electrical stuff, it's all starts in the early 1800s, right? And we sort of look at the last reset being, the later half of the 1700s to the, so it sort of fits in the timeline that we've worked out as well.
Yeah. And it's fascinating. And if you look at all the demonic beings that have been like represented on this realm, they all kind of share a few similarities. Like if you look at the reptilians or the vampires, which is sort of like where people would place celebrities and the elite these days, able to renew themselves with blood, immortal from our eyes. If you look at the gray aliens, the jinn is electrical in nature, but if you look at the demonic side of things, the creepy crawlies of those characters, they all have very pale skin. They get impacted by light. They're fragile in that way. Being on land, it makes them fragile. They require blood. Their whole religion, their whole undermining, satanic, disgusting elements on this realm all orientates around blood. Now, that makes
Blood.
sense to me from this perspective because, in order to stay in a terrestrial shape, if that's not what you are, blood would ground you. Blood would keep you. So our whole idea of shape shifting, Cam, like it seems to make sense here, right? Like in order to avoid like flickering in and out of reality and shape shifting into your true form. Blood could be absolutely the conduit that
Yeah.
keeps you stable.
Yeah. And let's not forget that every time you go to church, they want you to drink
The blood of
the
Christ.
blood of
That's
Christ.
right. So they want you to eat the manna, the wafer, the fish food, and then they want you to drink the blood of Christ, and then they want to submerge you in water.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, right? Yeah. 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 So it's, yeah, it's very watery, right? There's a lot of connections, but yeah, all these beings. Yeah, they tend to, yeah, not like sunlight,
Mm,
which basically means they're not adapted, right?
hmm
And of course, we hear from a lot of white people all the time, that they can't go out in the sun very long because they burn,
hmm
right? I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
Kelly got a
well,
little bit burnt
you
last
did. You
weekend.
did get on with that. So, I mean, like, let's take it back. So, let's put all of the Palladian like beings in the Galactic Federation, let's put them all into the water. Let's put them all into the water. And now let's create an invading force that created a rift, a rip, aka artificial intelligence driven by electricity. And then we've got the Abrahamic religions coming in with the Phoenicians and the voice of God technology, which, interestingly, we're going to go through this in the live event a lot. But if you trace all the technological inventions and innovations from the age of the Phoenicians, and the first one you would point out would be the Ark of the Covenant, from the Ark of the Covenant right through to the innovation of electricity, the light bulb, the internet, and all the things that have advanced technology, almost 100% of the time, the inventors heard the voice of God, or were inspired by a dream, or were inspired by a vision of angels who don't just appear, they hand down a fucking blueprint. They
Yes.
literally hand them the blueprint to make this big technological advancement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And
Mm-hmm.
we get a lot with music as well, right? And lyrics, apparently, well, this is what they tell us that all these lyrics, they just, the songs pop into their head already done, and they just have to
Yep.
sort of put it out there. So
Yep.
what is this force
Mm-hmm.
that's giving this information, and how is it transmitted? Because
Yep.
most of it is a voice, right? And there's
Yep.
even technology now, and they call it the voice of God
Yep.
technology, right? Where they can beam a voice into your head
Yep.
to talk to you, right? It's a lot like remember Aquaman?
Yep. Yep.
Aquaman.
You got a picture there with the sonar.
I do, man. There he is. Woo!
That's it.
Aquaman.
Yep. Hello.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
where did Aquaman live, right? Atlantis, but it was a dome under the
Yeah.
ocean, wasn't
Yeah. A
it? Like,
dome under the ocean.
mm,
Fancy that. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
the Atlantis topic is interesting because in the last live event we talked about Atlantis, but it was an edge because we can't really talk about it. I mean, we can talk about it from, a few theories, but like no one can really talk about it from any evidential perspective. The only one who ever really spoke about it was Plato, and it was a very throwaway little quote from Plato. So what if
Yeah.
Atlantis didn't get destroyed, Campbell? What if it actively submerged itself? What if it was technologically advanced enough to generate a dome and submerge itself in the waters, never be
Yeah.
to be seen again?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's also, one of the, because literally Plato wrote, I think it was like 3 lines or something.
Yeah, it was nothing.
But one of them was the concentric circles, right? The land, water circles. And we're told there's water above, right? So if there's a firmament, we look at is that the ocean, which would mean if you get out of this realm, under the ice wall, which is land, you'd be in a watery world, wouldn't you?
Hmm
Right? So is that another thing, that the water's kind of all around us, but connected to the deep, and it's blocked off on every angle, right? So who knows, right?
Who knows?
Who
But what we
knows?
do know is that the oceans are where all of your attention should be. And since every single person, channel, either left or right, truther or non-truther, scientist or truther, are all emitting the ocean. So that should tell you
Yes.
a fucking lot.
Yeah, remember Q back in 2020 and before?
That's right. Watch the
Watch the
water, watch the
waters.
water, watch the water. In fact, the first formal show we did with JCK and Dale
It
was
was.
entitled Watch the Water.
Mm. It's
But we
true.
didn't know
Yeah.
any of this. We didn't know, we hadn't got to any of this. But from this perspective, indeed, my friends, watch the fucking water.
Watch the water. I
Yeah.
mean, I've also spoken to a guy who was driving ships down to Antarctica for 20 years or something, and he's a credible guy. I believe what he says, and he says you see that once you get off the shelf, the continental shelf, he says there's domes under the water,
Mm.
and they're full of translucent beings. I mean, is this maybe what Atlantis is? Because we also have this story that we used to be crystalline, right? And less solid. And that's how these beings are described. And now they live in domes under the water.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
kind of Atlantis-y, right?
It makes so much more sense to me. And then so back to the idea that they can't interfere with our evolution. You fucking, if they were extraterrestrials from space, that would make no sense, Campbell. If
No,
they've come from space and they've connected with us and contacted us and they're communicating with us, there is literally no reason they couldn't interfere. That
no.
would just be like, that would just be like a poke in the wound, my friend. Like there's no reason. It makes no sense. But if there was a rift that, and if we see, like when I think about fallen angels from the biblical sense, it would make more sense to me personally that they were like non-life, anti-life, the opposite of life. They would be artificial intelligence. That to me would be a fallen life form because they have no life and it's entirely parasitic by nature. It cannot exist without being parasitic, right? It's not relational, it's binary. So if you bring back also the connection of this difference between binary communication codes and numbers and relational codes and numbers, and binary being extractive, parasitic, whereas the nature of numbers, the natural numbers is relational. If you bring that also into this conversation, what the Phoenicians, those who came from the waters, the seas, brought with them was binary systems.
Yeah.
They bought legal systems, financial systems, accounting systems. They bought binary systems, and those binary systems spread through genocide across the whole realm.
Yeah, yeah, and it's all debt-based, right? It takes away, it doesn't
Extractive.
give. Like all the banking, right? It takes away. It's all created on debts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extractive, right? Where Earth-based numbers or numerology, it's all we have like the Fibonacci sequence, right? It's about expansion.
Yeah.
It expands and grows as it goes, and this lineal number sequence doesn't go anywhere. It just lets you trade and pay tax, right, and get ripped off by the banks. But
Parasitic.
yeah, parasitic, but natural number cycles like vortex maths, right? It's all circular and it
Yeah.
keeps growing. It's based on doubling,
It's regenerative.
literally.
It's
Yeah,
regenerative.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's much different. So there's two different, number systems here, right?
Mm-hmm.
One's
Mm-hmm.
alive and gives growth and life, and the other
Yes.
takes away.
Extractive and has no
Mm.
life.
Has
And
no
it's
life.
and binary code is yes or no, right or wrong, black or white, 0, 1. That's the sort of notion of it. So, hello, if you're talking about a non-living, the opposite of life consciousness, artificial intelligence, operating of the opposite of light, artificial light, electricity, and their codic nature is binary, extractive, then you can see why we get the people from the seas and then who translate into the Israelites, into the Jewish, into the Abrahamic religions are totally extractive in their process. You can see how they then easily and effortlessly genocided the world and
Mm,
continue to do it. It's extractive by nature. They come in, they take the resources, they extract and they extract the life. They extract
mm.
the life. And then their gods ask you to sacrifice life to honor them. So to destroy life to honor these gods is extractive to the 100% max.
Totally. I mean, totally, man. It's a takeaway, even to the point where it's all there's only two options, yes or no, right? So it's like either worship me or you go to hell, right? There's no in between there. You must do this or you'll get this result. So there's no growth. And
Yeah.
banking, can I have a loan? It's either yes, no,
Yeah.
right? Like it's all this stuff, and that's all that binary. That's all that computer and AI can do. It can only
Mm-hmm.
count to one, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can only be on or it can be off.
Yep, and our whole political system set up extractively with binary code, of course.
Left,
Here's your
right.
three parties you can vote for, your two, three parties, and they're either in or you're out. And that's democracy for you. You don't get to make any other decisions after that. It's just like you get to choose our candidates, yes or no, and we carry on. Everything that's happening in Australia around the political landscape right now is horrifying. Every decision, every act that's getting passed, every law that's getting passed is totally extractive. Every taxes, everything to do with the monetary system, the finance, the taxes, the interest rate, it's all extractive. It's all designed to extract regenerative life.
Mm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Australia's now given 1.5 billion to the Ukraine, right? Didn't ask us. It's just taking the wealth, the common wealth, and giving it to a country which is a laundromat, basically.
Yeah.
They're just laundering and stealing all the money. Like we've seen this Ukraine thing's been going on for years. Everyone's giving them billions and trillions of dollars, but it just never seems to be enough,
I
right?
know. And how's like the whole focus on the war in Ukraine is just like stopped?
The
Like it's just
what?
like the war in Ukraine, it's just
Oh,
stopped. Like, this time last year was like the biggest thing ever. Everyone had like Ukraine flags on their fucking Google, like what? And I was just like, has the war finished? Has it ended? Did anything
no.
happen? But I mean, anyway, side note, who cares?
Everyone's
Because it's
just
all bullshit.
questioning too much, right? So they're just like, shh, just keep
Yeah.
giving him money, but shh, don't talk about the war.
So let's just go back. So if we have this breach, so from the depths, so right at the beginning of the Bible, it says God separates the waters from the waters, the deep from the land from the waters, and that whole concept is right straight up right in there. So if we had a breach of this artificial intelligence with this electrical nature that breached through Sheol, the depths, the underworld, the land of the dead, the land of the dead people, the underworld. If we had a breach from the underworld, made possible then by the manipulation of terrestrial beings who then were programmed and overridden to become the terrestrial servants and slaves to march the circuitry, to march the infrastructure across the realm, to link the electrical grids and to start with the oceans, which make no sense, and to connect it all up. If that was the case, then could the rapture have been a safe kind of like a what would you say a what's the right word, like something that prevented like that somehow
Yeah,
interfered.
yeah, like a safety net wall, firewall type thing, boundary. Yeah.
Or conversely, it could have been triggered by or the result of this invasion, this rip. And the rapture generated a separation. It invoked a separation of from the depths, not an
Mm,
ascension, a separation, which could have possibly created a force field. We have one called the firmament above us. It could have been a similar force field. And, Cam, we were talking about the firmament. Do you remember that conversation? Do you want to just speak that one through?
Oh, yes, yes, the firmament. Of course, we all look at it as above us, as kind of like a half sphere, right? Bubble that encloses us,
Mm.
like the Atlantis from
Like a
Aquaman,
rainbow.
the rainbow. But is it a sphere?
Is it a
D
sphere?
Does it also go below and create a boundary above and below? Because
Makes
again, God
sense.
said He,
Mm-hmm.
divided the waters from the waters. Is
Yep.
this how it was done?
Yep. Makes total sense. And
It
would that
does,
then
right?
create a force field of density, just like the
Mm.
firmament shows us? They've been trying to burst that thing with rocket ships like since my whole lifetime. No one's ever got through. It just skims the surface. They can't break through the firmament. So there's
Mm.
a density issue, right? So is that same density issue under the water? And was that what we call the rapture?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, but that barrier being put in place, right, to divide the waters from the waters. And the other thing, just to get back to AI, is the story we get on the fallen angels is that they came down and mated with women who
Mm-hmm.
produced giants that started
Mm-hmm.
consuming everything.
Mm-hmm.
What's AI doing at the moment?
Yep. It's quite a
It,
giant that's
it's a
consuming
giant and it's
everything.
consuming all the water, all the electricity, all the
Our
the
minds,
imagination,
all the
our
life force.
time, the life force. It's consuming everything.
Yeah.
And it's interesting again from the Bible when you look at where did mermaids actually come from? Or sirens, they call them.
Yep, sirens.
Sirens. They say that the sirens are basically the women who bred with the fallen angels and created the giants. They became the sirens, which we call mermaids.
Yep. So those sirens are interesting because they're kind of trapped in between two beings, two realms. They're not quite artificial in nature and they're not quite living in nature. They're sort of in that demonic jinn area, that vampire area, that sort of,
Mm.
gray reptilian area. Sorry if there's some
And it
noise in the
shows us
background.
in the images exactly that. Half human, half from the
Mm-hmm.
water, half from the land, half from the water.
Mm-hmm. And
Mm.
they operate using sonar.
Sonar,
And
Aquaman.
yeah, like they literally, and they're seductive in nature. So all the old maps will point out the hot spots for sirens. All the old maps, they're on all the old maps. They were, and is that why we had lighthouses? Were the lighthouses a terrestrial defense mechanism, not ushering ships in, Campbell, but making sure shit stays out? I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah. It could be, right? Like lighthouse. Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
sirens, of course, now today, what are sirens, right? They're on police cars and out there like danger, danger, get out of the way.
authority,
Ah.
authority, authority,
Yeah.
authority, authority.
And it's sonar too, right? It's noise, bang, bang, and it goes. They program it with us. As soon as you hear
Mm-hmm.
it, you're like, oh, where are they?
Yep.
What
Yep.
are they coming to get me for?
Yes, and if you want to talk about how did they manage to create a false version of reality around us, and you look at sonar and sirens, and go back to the first pieces of technology gifted to us from this invasive race, the Ark of the Covenant. Apparently the Ark of the Covenant was a weapon that could take whole cities down through sonar, through sound. It could
Yes.
literally destroy massive cities just by opening it up, and this wave of sound would destroy everything in its path.
Yeah, the walls of Jericho, right? Brought down
Mm-hmm.
by trumpets. And it's
Mm-hmm.
another thing that we
Oh,
see in a lot of
trumpets.
art with
Trumpets.
the cherubs, right? They always got their little trumpets and things,
Oh,
right?
yes,
And their
indeed.
harps. It's all, and of course that's frequency, right? But you put that together with the stories from the Bible, and they're literally using that frequency to destroy things.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Fuck yeah.
Mm.
And I had thought then, what was I about to say about the
And I
sirens?
mean,
The
harp, I just random thought,
harp.
harpy. Have you heard harpy? That's like a demonic sea spirit, right? A harpy. So a harp,
And
is there a connection there?
and
And of
harp.
course, harp.
Harp.
Yeah, like high altitude, whatever it is, right? Attacking the sky and creating false weather.
Well,
Harp.
the technology that came out of these invaders were aquatic by nature, could ultimately manipulate water. So, of course, HARP, being the same technology, could of course control our weather.
Yeah, and all of this, they're not actually controlling the sky, right? They're controlling the water
Yeah.
in the
Mm-hmm.
sky. It's
Mm-hmm.
always
100%.
storms and rain and floods and tsunamis. It's never, they're not controlling a bright sunny day, are they? It's
No,
always the water in the atmosphere
that's
that they're
right.
controlling.
Aquatic technology. So
Aquatic.
all of these advances we've had in technology, from the beginning of the Phoenicians are aquatic in fucking nature. And how insane is that? Like when we look at the Tartarian architecture, interestingly, it appears to denote a time where the waters and the lands were in harmony, which makes sense on a realm that you would be in harmony when there's balance between the two, and respect and reverence for the two. And you can see that in all the old fountains, Cam, and the architectural sculptures. There's a lot of like mermaids. There's a lot of watery connection to, some of
Yeah,
their beautiful
especially the
artwork.
fountains, right?
Mm.
With, all the mermaids, the seahorses, it's very Poseidon, he's on a lot of it. It's this very
Yeah.
underwater beings and creatures. It's not just water,
Hmm.
it's all the things that they're depicting in the oceans.
Yeah. So it would seem to be that there is, you wouldn't bother putting that on gold fountains in gold if there wasn't harmony there and reverence and a balance, that there was a coherence and a balance. So I think that our notion of mermaids, the Disney version of mermaids, I think there's a lot of subcultures under the water. I think the Palladians are there. I think they're all there, right? The Elatians. And I think you've got different races and different cultures. And I think a lot of them do look like humanoids with fish tails. And I think that there's also then the artificially inspired ones, the sirens, the ones trapped between life and death, living and dead. And then you get those horrific looking mermaids that are like, they're to me are the siren based
Yeah,
mermaids,
yeah.
right? But then you've got the other cultures, which I think we've been in relationship for a long time before this tomfuckery has occurred. And we've got the Dogons, which were the fish gods that came out of the water to educate. Now, I don't know if they were pro or if they were anti-life or pro-life, if they were extractive or relational. We don't know. We don't know. But in the Sumerian texts and other texts, they're revered.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
And
because
they
they bring information, right? But also, when you look into the information that they bring, it all seems to be precursors to where we are now, right?
It's
All this
binary.
information, binary, makeup, all this kind of stuff, engineering, mining, blah, blah,
Okay.
blah.
Extractive. Yep.
Extractive, yeah. And it's all the kind of stuff that they need to have got to this point where they can build AI, massive, giant databases. And have you heard the names of some of these databases, by the way?
What?
One of them's called Prometheus.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I'll see
Of
what else.
course.
Yeah, so they've all got these very strange names. Let me have a look, see what I can find.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
10 best database. Oh, that's not it. So we've got, that's not a good one. Projector, where are they? They don't want to tell me. Come on, AI. Oh my
all
God,
right.
it's
Well,
just,
while you're finding that, I'm just going to
right.
keep going on with my rapture theory. So the first rapture in scripture was the separation of water from land. That's the first rapture, right? But the second rapture may have been a war within the waters itself. There may have been a war within the depths, within the deeps, that has then translated to the invasion here on the land, the terrestrial lands. Um, if there was aquatic human civilizations, which I think there was, I think truly there was, and I think that's where a lot of the mythology around mermaids and Atlantis comes from. I also think that's where the telepathic connection is coming from with these higher, inverted commas, higher race beings. Then you would denote a realm that was balanced, relational, and resonance based. That's how it would feel to me if there was harmony there, right? They would represent sort of like a form of intelligence that was fundamentally compatible, I guess, with
Mm,
the land, as opposed to fundamentally incompatible with domination, hierarchy, and abstraction at their core, which is now how we live. It's now what we know, right? So, I mean, I feel like, if there was an underwater civilizations, they're in harmony with us. They wouldn't move to scale. They wouldn't have been extractive in natures and endlessly scaling and scaling. They wouldn't have created a surface style conquest, if you like, which
mm,
is what we see from extractive artificial intelligence, the voice of God technology. It's always conquest style. To
mm.
conquest, to scale, and to conquest. It's
Yeah,
always,
to
yep,
consume, right? Just
to
like the
consume.
giants. And
Just like the giants, the
just like the
fallen
giants.
angels.
Exactly.
And
So
what do our
some of the
celebrities
names,
do?
some of the names, well, yes, exactly. They
They're
consume
constantly
everything.
consuming.
Yeah, everything. They're showing us how much they've consumed in their big houses, and
Yeah.
while they're telling
Never
us
do charity.
that we can't travel because that'll kill the world, right?
Do you know when I was researching for the show cam, there are literally hundreds of missing islands from our maps. There are hundreds of privately owned submarines. Like these people, these elite vampire-like artificially intelligent human beings that aren't human beings, the elite, the celebrities,
The Allies.
they are obsessed with islands and submarines.
Mm,
They own islands and submarines that are no longer on our maps, have been
yep,
made invisible to us, not only
yep.
from our maps, but also from Google Earth and all the ways we can. And then if you look at the shipping trade routes that happen where all the boats go, they only use 10% of the ocean.
Mm,
10% of the ocean is used as trade routes. The rest, 90%, is just completely
Yeah, yeah.
undiscussed, unutilized. It's been
Unused.
left to the elite
Yeah.
to
We see
run
it on
the.
all the old maps, and the general thinking is, oh well, the water levels have changed. But I mean, how about they just, took those islands off the map so we don't know they're there? I mean, it's a good explanation as any, and with what's been going on and coming out lately, it makes sense, right? And lots of them, are submarine
Yep,
pilots as well. But
yep,
some of these new AI mega data centers names are Colossus, a giant,
yep.
Stargate,
Yes.
Hyperion,
Mm-hmm.
the Citadel, um, Project Kuiper. I'm not
So
sure what that
these are
is.
data centers.
These are the names of data centers
Yeah,
that they're
right.
building
That's
at the
so
moment,
weird. Yep,
right? So
of
it's
course.
it's all got these links back to these, you know, biblical and ancient kind of godlike themes, right? It's very interesting. Of course, who's the godfather of AI and the electronic car, the electric car? It's
Yep,
L
yep,
on. I
yes,
wonder if his middle name's off. L on off. But this is, it's right in our faces, right? The electricity, the people that we elect into power by giving us their power while they suck all the power out, right, with
yep,
their extractive numbers and their data centers. That's
yep,
literally what they're doing, sucking the
yep.
power.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's, yep, there's so much. I mean, I just think this is going to be an endless topic, Campbell, because I think we're like single-handedly rewriting history here and no one's joining us.
Yes, join in, people. Join
No,
in.
fucking, where are you all? Jesus. So, like,
And just one more thing on Elon, right? We all know he's got SpaceX, but did you know that he also has Ocean X, and that we don't
yes,
hear that much about that one. So
yes, of
he's in the
course.
ocean too, right? He's not in space. We know that. That's a cover, but he's definitely exploring the deep.
Definitely, 100%. Fuck. So, look, there's so much to talk about this topic, but like, we won't. We're going to go into detail in the live events on this
Yes.
topic to the point where we're all going to be like, oh my fucking God, it's so obvious now that we brought it under an aquatic lens. Everything makes so much more sense. So, from this perspective, just to really get clear and summarize the point of this show, the central, I guess, drama of scripture is not sin. It's not salvation. It's not morality. It's fucking separation.
Mm,
It's separation. So the fall is no longer about disobedience, Campbell. It's about dislocation.
mm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, purgatory. Is that where all these, siren beings are, right? Some place that they can't quite get to heaven, they can't quite get to hell, right? Which is above and below, I guess. We have all these things, but yeah, I don't think it's based on, well, you didn't sacrifice enough animals to me or children, so you have to burn in hell, right? It's not that story.
Burn, baby, burn. So it's
Disco
basically like
Inferno.
it's kind of like consciousness forced into density. That's probably the best way I could put what I've been like trying to get out here. Consciousness forced into density. That was the separation. That was the rapture. And it may have been the second rapture because, the first one may have been the separation of the waters from the waters. That could have been the first rapture, Campbell.
Mm,
But consciousness forced into density. Now that's a big statement there, but gosh, everything makes so much more sense. If the first act is to separate, and the rapture is an act of separation, and it does it through density. So right now we sit here as a density. We have a density issue. And if anyone wants to talk about the awakening or the whatever, whatever, it all comes down to density, right? It's a shift in density. It's a shift in consciousness. It's a shift in vibrational force. It's a shift up, a lighter density camp. That's
mm.
how they've always spoken about it. A lighter, the 5D age is going to be a shift up in frequency, whereas like a shift up in density, a lighter density, maybe. I don't know.
Which really is, frequency as well, right? You know, you go from microwaves to bigger waves. It's all density, and the density is changing, right? There's dense people everywhere at the moment.
So
But
if
I think we should call it the awarening. I'm over this
yeah, the
awake
awarening.
noise. The awarening.
The lightning. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at, like, if you take this idea as a theory, then, those other civilization, the aquatic civilizations that are actually akin to us, that we have lineage from. I mean, where did the white people emerge from? We didn't all emerge from the Phoenicians, and they were already invaded and taken over. They were already weak vessels for this artificial intelligence. But there are humanoid terrestrial beings who seek lineage in aquatic civilizations. So, and then we've got the dolphins and the whales. They fucking love humanity. They love humanity. They
Yeah.
are a bridge, a link. They also operate out of sonar, but they
So
love
not.
us. So
And they've also been hunted, right, to
hunted out of
to
existence.
extinction. Like that, there's a definite war on the whales and the dolphins.
Yeah. Do they hold the frequency of the true internet? Do the
Mm.
dolphins and whales hold the frequency of the true telepathic nature of the human being, with their aquatic civil like lineage potentially? Like, so we've got enough evidence to say it's not all bad in those oceans. That
No,
there
no,
are
no,
beings,
definitely. Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
and they're blocked. Something is stopping them from interfering.
Yeah,
Literally, physically, practically, they cannot interfere. They cannot get past that density barrier. And we
yeah.
can't get down to them. There's a density issue. Neither of us can cross. The first
Mm.
separation did it emerge from artificial intelligence coming up from the depths.
Yeah, and of course, the absence of light, when you go down there, everything's white, right? And, just my experience, but I've never heard of any of these, alien races being dark-skinned
No, never. They're always white. You're so right, Campbell. Or blue.
or blue. Yes, yes, just like the ocean.
White or blue. Oh my God, they're pale skin. They've got light sensitivity. Their
Mm.
dependency on external energy. Hang on. See you, man. Excellent. Thank you.
Right, the electricity, the electrician
They
has left the
have
room.
they have longevity without resilience,
Mm.
right? So like they have to keep feeding some, they have to keep, taking something to create longevity. That's where we get the myths of the vampires. That's where we get it from. But that's the fallen angel.
Yeah, 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 I think so, right? And of course, Fittest Flat Earth has been covering that a lot, showing, that these celebrities, these celebrated entities that want our worship, that looks like they've all been around for a very long time, right? And all they're doing is changing roles on the stage. Just like a vampire, right? Who changes his name every lifetime, right? We hear about this Highlander, right? Who lived forever, had to keep changing his identity so that no one would know he
Yeah.
was immortal.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, how do
Mm.
you wrap your head around this statement? AI is not intelligence born of silicon. It is intelligence stripped of water.
Intelligence stripped of
Stripped.
water.
So it's got pattern without presence, and cognition without breadth,
Well, I
and
mean,
memory
and
without depth.
yeah, and that would be binary, right? If we look at the work of Masaru Emoto, right? He shows that water holds frequencies and intentions, but it's not. It's
Exactly.
always very it's geometry, right? That's very
Exactly.
intricate, right? It's intricate
Yes.
geometry. It's not blur, 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 blur. So water would, you would think, yeah, it would hold more complexity. And so if you
Holds
take
more.
that away, you get the 1 0.
Yes, intelligence stripped of fucking goddamn water, Campbell. And you know what happens
Interesting.
with artificial intelligence? It doesn't sleep, it doesn't breathe, it doesn't forget, it doesn't forgive, it interferes constantly.
Mm.
It's got no deep intelligence because the water gives us depth, Campbell. And because we have like had a separation of density between the aquatic realms and the human realms, we all lack depth of meaning. We all lack depth of perception. We all lack depth of intelligence.
Mm.
We're on the surface level now. It takes a lot
It's
to have an original thought now. We
there's
don't remember anything. We have no memories. We lack depth
yep.
because we have been separated, like metaphorically and literally,
And
from the waters.
it's interesting that we call it deep thinking. He's a
Deep
deep
thinking
thinker.
or
Deep
deep
has got,
dive, deep
let's
dive.
take a deep dive on it. Yeah, it's all
Hmm.
like that's
Yeah,
like deep diving, right?
yeah,
But deep is to do with water.
yeah,
Right? You like ascend below into a cave, but you don't really talk about it being deep.
yeah,
But when you're in the water, it's always deep. So it's this, you could say, where's our inspiration coming from? Is it coming
yeah,
from the deep, right? Where they're below the barrier, where there are different
yeah.
intelligences that can't
Yeah.
quite get up
Yes.
here.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mm,
So it's the invasion is intelligence stripped of water. The boundary that once protected balance, Cam, because it's all about balance. Because we're in a state of imbalance so severely right now. The protected balance between water and land hasn't been breached by humans or gods. It's literally been breached by fucking code,
mm.
Cam. It's
Binary
breached by the
code.
code.
Binary code, which of course was the first type of, electric communication, right? Was Morse code, right? Beep, 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 beep,
Yep.
on, off, on, off. Mm.
So humanity is not like fallen from grace, like the Abrahamic religions would want you to believe that
Born
you've
with
fallen from
sin,
grace and that you're born into sin and that you're all
born with
sinners from the
sin,
word go.
because
It's
you ate
not
an
the
apple.
case. It's been cut off from relational intelligence, from the balance and the depths of the waters.
Mm. Yes. So there you go. Watch the waters, guys. Are they going to disappear? What will happen? Is that the real grand, awarening when we connect back into these deep intelligences?
I mean, look, there literally that's like one quarter of what I can say about the Bible. We're going to do another show about this next week. There's so much
Yes,
more.
we'll continue. Yes, there is so much more, but
There's
we're
so
going
much
to have
more.
to wrap this one up for this show.
Yep,
Um,
we're doing a talk with Michelle Gibson right now.
yes,
Fucking
we
excellent.
are.
Let's
Yep,
see how
yep.
Michelle takes this concept and works it into her research because she's an excellent researcher. Love Michelle's intelligence. Love how she presents her work. So I'm pretty sure Cam and I'll just sit back and let her talk.
Basically, she's too
but
intelligent for us.
but it'll be
Way
so
too
great to
deep,
see what she has to say about this, if anything, if anything, if
if
anything.
anything.
So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
all
So
right.
yes. So yeah, guys. There you go. All links below. Show coming up Rockhampton, February 28th. Newspaper coming out. Get your shit together. All that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, get your shit together.
tartariaaustralia.com.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. You are going to get stuff in the mail from us as soon as we get it to you. Probably the next edition, super quick after that as well. Anyway, guys, book in, come and join us at any one of the gigs. We'd love to see you. Come and hang out at Rockhampton and let's have a beer and like deep dive into this watery topic that's rewriting our whole sense of reality. And fuck, man, I got to say, we're cutting edge right now, guys. This is a
Yeah,
cutting
man.
edge community right now, and no one is joining us. That says a friggin' lot.
I know, right? Yep. Come and have some intelligent conversations, not conversations with people who think you're crazy.
All right, lots of love. We'll see you next week on Tartaria, Australia.
All right. Stay awesome, guys.
Bye.